Hey guys, welcome to Jenner Custom Toys. I'm Bruce. Thanks for joining my video. Today we're going to talk about, today I was going through some old Star Wars figures. I'm getting ready to sell some. I have way too many, so I'm going to start, getting rid of them and see if some other collector might want to add them to his collection. So I'm wondering, what can I do to figure out how much they're worth? Because there's different ways to find out how much things are worth. And you go to one group and they'll tell you, oh, it's worth X amount of dollars, and go to another group like, oh, that's only worth $2 or $3, and it's hard to tell. I've been collecting for a while now, so I pretty much have an idea what they're worth and what they'll probably go for. But I was curious, so I got on eBay and a few other resources to research how much figures are going for. And what I'm doing for you today is I have two lists. The first list is the top 10 mint on card vintage Star Wars figures that are going for the most from July, from my research. July 2020, in case this video makes it to be a year old. I went through some research and I tallied up the what everything was actually sold for in auctions, and I got a pretty good list for you. The second list is loose figures that aren't on card. That's mostly what I collect. A lot of my stuff is not on cards. I'm the guy, the way I collect, I like to display them and mess with them and rearrange them, and it's part of my childhood, and I get pleasure out of that. I mean, everybody collects differently, and I'm not down on anybody for how they do it, and I don't expect to be down for the way I collect. But today is just some facts I collected. I'm going to show part one now. We'll talk about it, and then we get to part two. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it. If you do, hit that like button down there. I'd appreciate it. I'm just starting out on YouTube. I just got Comcast internet the other day, so I'm working on making these a little nicer, a little more entertaining. I'm also trying to be quick about it because no one wants to sit there and hear me ramble on and on. So just enjoy yourself. Check it out, and I'll see you in a bit. Hey folks, here we go. This is the top 10 highest selling price on eBay of the Star Wars vintage figures. And I'm not going to try to say that again because that's pretty hard. Coming in at number 10. R2-D2 with the pop-up lightsaber, excuse me. That sold last month in July, $468 for one on card just like that. Now, once again, these cards are my own reproductions. I do that to keep my figures clean. This is just a visual example of what it does look like. The figure's real. All these accessories are real. This is my main collection. So once again, number 10, R2-D2 with a pop-up lightsaber. Someone paid mint on card, $468. That's up there. I've seen, we're going to get a lot higher. Like I said, that's number 10. We're going to go into number 9 now. Number 9, not really sure how this made the list, but my research says Squidhead made it. It sold in July. Someone paid $480 for one like this, mint on original card. $480. That's our number 9 standpoint. And we go to number 8. Number 8. Oh, I just knocked his arm off. Oh man, all this time that I had him hanging, his arm was always there, and now it popped off. Well, that just dropped the value of it. But anyway, this is EV99. Once again, this is another repro card. It's just how I store them. He was in really nice shape up until just now. That arm popped off. Look at that. That arm just popped right off from jiggling it around. Not the most durable figure that they ever made, I'll tell you that. But anyway, that was number 8, and it goes for $485. Somebody paid for one that probably wasn't broken like mine. Mint on card. Next one, number 7, is one of my favorites. Mint on card. Now, these are all just basic. I don't not counting the variants and stuff like that because I'd be here all day. But next one's number 7, one of my favorites, Boba Fett. Basic version of him right there. Now, he sold, according to my sources on eBay, someone paid the highest last month, July 2020, was $505 for one similar to this one on its original card. $505 for a Boba Fett, and that is one of my favorite figures. Next one, like I said, we're going to go right through these real quick. I'll talk about them here later. I'm still a little mad about that EV99 arm, but that's what happens whenever you take your stuff down and mess with it. Anyway, number 6 is from Return of the Jedi card. It is a Leia
with the the combat poncho. And you see this is mine right here, another repro card. I'm not trying to say these are real, but the figures are original and authentic and all, no repro parts and stuff like that. But anyway, she sold for $518, mint on card. That was the highest price paid last month. And that takes us down to number 5. Number 5, also one of my favorites. I love this little guy. That's my own custom card there, but that is, as you know, Blue Snaggletooth. And one, now those didn't come on cards. They came with the Sears exclusive Cantina set, the cardboard backdrop thing. Anyway, you can't get that mint on card, but what you can do is get it still in a Kenner baggie that it came with. And that sold, still sealed in a baggie, $645 last month. $645 mint in a Kenner baggie, which I don't have any Kenner baggies, strangely enough, of all the other stuff I have. Next one coming up is number 4. Number 4 is the original C-3PO. I was a little surprised it made the list considering other things, but sold last month on eBay, $652 mint on card. And when I took a look at the picture, it was in really nice shape, didn't have a lot of yellowing on the bubble, and the chrome was, well, the chrome better be perfect if it's never been opened. But anyway, C-3PO is $652. Going down to the next one, this is another one of my favorites. A double telescoping Luke Skywalker from the original line. You can see this one has the double telescoping lightsaber. Very valuable figure. Once again, custom card on my side. But it sold for $895 last month on eBay, which I think that's kind of a low price. And oh, I do want to say, this particular, I don't like repros on my main collection, but I did throw one on this one as a variant. That double telescoping lightsaber is not real. It is one that I made myself, just for looks. So, and it doesn't come in and out like it's supposed to, because I don't want to, if it ever goes in wrong hands, I don't want anybody thinking it was real, because that'd be ripping somebody off, and that's not good. But yeah, Luke Skywalker, double telescoping lightsaber, which I don't think I've ever seen a real one, ever. But that one sold for $895 last month, and I felt that was a little low. I thought it was going to be maybe at least $1,200. This next one did sell for $1,200 last month on eBay. A carded mint Jawa with the cloth cape. Carded mint Jawa, once again, my repro card, I can't stress that enough. That's just how I store them. But the cloth cape one sold for $1,200 last month. Someone paid $1,200 for cloth cape Jawa, which is pretty common in my mind, but hey, they really wanted it apparently. Okay, guess what, guys? We are down to number 1. Number 1 of last month's sales in eBay was a vinyl cape Jawa. And yes, this vinyl cape Jawa is the real deal. Just not the card, like I said. Vinyl cape Jawa sold for $2,000 last month on eBay. That's mint, carded, bubble, everything. And I thought that was pretty cool. So, like I said, that's my top 10 list of what's going on eBay from last month. Hang on for a little bit here. I'm going to talk about these figures a little bit, and then we'll do the second top 10 list of the loose figures and what they sold for last month, because there's a big difference. So, all right, we'll catch you in a minute.
Okay, I'm back again. That list didn't really surprise me too much. I mean, seeing the ones on there, I expected to see Blue Snaggletooth. One that I expected to see on there that I didn't was Yak Face. Now, they did, let me see what it was. They did sell a Yak Face last month. They sold 2 of them. The highest end on the card was $431, which really surprised me. I thought they'd be pulling in a lot more than that. But the only 2 I could find record of that they actually sold was the $431. The Blue Snaggletooth didn't surprise me too much. They are getting harder to find. It seems like everybody's got them for their collection. It's a good figure, and it was more rare than the Yak Face. The Yak Face wasn't really rare, but it was manufactured and sold in Canada, which is why it's harder to get down here. But they do exist, and they're around. You see them on eBay all the time. I think maybe the people copying them might have done a little damage on that too. But that's just one man's opinion. The other ones, like, I couldn't find anything. If you're looking for the regular first 12, not the double telescoping lightsabers, but they're just the regular first 12, like a Han and the regular Luke, the original Luke with the blonde hair and the white outfit, Chewbacca even, they're not really selling for that much, even on card. They do exist, but they're not selling for as much as I thought they would. Excuse me. I was surprised to see C-3PO on that list. Original C-3PO going for $652. But I think maybe that has something to do with the metallized paint, or I don't know what it's called, the electroplating. I think that's what it's called. The electroplating. It wore out a lot. I've got about 5 or 6 C-3POs here, and most of them have the spots where it's worn. It just doesn't look that good. Same with the R2-D2 heads. The chrome, after 40 some years, it just doesn't last. So I can see why that was number 4. The cloth cape Jawa kind of surprised me at $1,200. I see them all over the place, loose. I didn't realize they'd be that expensive on card. Vinyl cape Jawa didn't surprise me at all. They only made those for 1 year, the very first year they came out. But when I was a kid, I had a few of them. But they're long gone now. Squid head, number 9, really surprised me at $480. That was never been a real big fan of squid head. But maybe it's just rare to find them on card. Maybe that could be it too. But I haven't researched that part of it, like how rare something is, or maybe people aren't selling. But these prices fluctuate all the time. It comes down to people will pay what they want to pay for an item. So you're at the mercy of the buyer. You can't sit there and say, oh, this yak face is worth $1,500. It's worth $1,500 to you, but can you get it from can you get someone to pay $1,500 for a yak face? I personally wouldn't. The one that I have, I paid, I think I paid $800 for. $500 or $800, I can't remember. It was a long time ago. It was a while back. And I bought and sold so many figures since then. But so that's the first 10. I mean, that's what you get on eBay. What has been the going rate, what I call it. I've looked at other groups. I belong to a few groups. I have a group of my own too. 2 groups of my own that I run with some help from other admins. And there's a couple groups that I belong to, and I follow them and I see what they're selling. Some people are reasonable. Some people are just way out there. But and you can't argue with them, because if you argue with them, then they blast you on Facebook and ooh. So I'm not going to point out any names. But so that's the first 10. The second 10 we're going to do right now. I'm going to stop running my mouth. It is the 10 highest valued loose figures that sold last month. Now, loose figure, I'm sure everyone right now knows what a loose figure is, but if somebody doesn't, I'm just going to quickly explain it. A loose figure means it's been opened, played with, maybe just opened and displayed. But my definition of a loose vintage figure has to be vintage, of course. It has to be off the card, and it has to have its original accessories. Now, I had to do some digging on that one, because a lot of times they'll sell with repros, repro guns, repro capes, whatever. Now, this research is what they sold for with all the accessories, authentic accessories. The best that I could come up with. So, we're going to take a look at that right now. And we'll talk about it, and I'll say a few final thoughts, and I'll be out of your face. Here it comes.
Okay, here we go. These are the top 10 highest marketing loose figures from Kenner Star Wars line, vintage line, as of July of 2020. And let's just get into it. I'll talk about these afterwards. Let's get into them and show you real quick. Number 10 is General Lando Calrissian. This one is not loose. It's on a card. Another one of my repro cards, though, but I didn't want to take it out. I just want to use a visual aid here. So, General Lando, he sold loose this time. $172. That's what somebody got for him. I think it's a fair price. You're getting into the last 17, which are always up there. But, yeah, loose in decent shape. Better than beaters. No one's going to buy beaters for that much, but must have been in pretty good shape. You can see mine here has almost a perfect cape on it, and the proper weapon, and it's hardly ever been played with. My wife actually bought this for me last year for Christmas, and it was in mint condition, as mint as it could be considering it's out of the box. And so I carded it up right away and sealed it. I don't want anything getting on it. Anyway, number 10, General Lando, $172. This next one, I don't own this one. It's one of the last 17s also. I do have this guy here just to show you. It's Imperial Gunner, but as you can see, that's not actually the right figure. That's a Power of the Force 2 figure. I'm just using it for an example because I don't have the original. But the original one sold loose last month for $181. And the original one looks similar to this one. You can see this is got that muscular build that the Power of the Force 2 ones all had. And this is just one I put on my Death Star playset for display. But really, that's one of my goals this year. Is I have 3 to get, and then I have every vintage figure made. And this is one of them. And you said if I'd have had $181 last month, I could have bought it. So that's number 9. Moving on, number 8. One of my favorites. Another one I picked up. I'm not taking it off my own card, though. Luke Skywalker in Stormtrooper outfit. Stormtrooper disguise, whatever you want to call it. But this is a pretty nice figure. Everybody wanted back then, they want to know why they didn't make a Han Solo, too. There's a couple groups that have made a Han Solo custom. I've done one myself. It's come out okay, but it's never going to be as good as the real thing. But anyway, Luke in Stormtrooper disguise sold loose for $200 last month. $200 would have got you one of these loose. That's complete with the weapon and the, see, there's a weapon I have it tied to the side, or taped to the side, and a little helmet that comes with it. Now those things have been forged and reproed a lot, so it's kind of hard to tell when you get a real one. You have to kind of look up inside it. I don't think the camera's going to show you, but you can tell the difference between a real one and a fake one. This one happens to be real. So moving on, number 7 is a figure we had in the last one, the last part. As you can see, I did manage to pop his arm back in there. I had to pull him out of the card to do it. But EV99 came in number 7 last month. A loose EV99 with all its parts intact. $204. $204 for this. Now the thing about this is the legs tend to break, and as you can see, the arms break once in a while. This one popped back in, but I don't want to mess with it too much because it stayed, but it's not in there as tight as it could be. But very, very fragile figure. It's got a lever in the back where you can move the mouth. It's also a last 17 item. This is probably why it's so up there. But loose, this was $204 last month. That takes us to number 6. And number 6 never really impressed me much. It's another one of the last 17s. It's Luke Skywalker in his poncho, in his Endor poncho. Last month, like I said, it's number 7, $204. No, I'm sorry. Number 6. We're on number 6. It's Luke in his poncho. $232 would pick you this up last month. And as you can see, mine has the authentic cape and the correct weapon there. Excuse me. And the thing I didn't like about it is the helmet doesn't come off. It's just part of there. And all the other ones, the helmets would come off. This one, it's part of the cast, so it stays on there. So here we got number 6 coming in at $232 as of July 2020. Number 5 is definitely my favorite. Definitely my favorite. You all know this guy here, Mr. Yak Base. He sold last month $296. Someone picked one up for loose, which is a darn good price for this. I think I paid maybe $500 for this one, and it's got nice tight limbs. And I don't bring him out much. He has a card that he stays on, but and there's also a dispute of which way he should hold his weapon, and that's the way I chose to do it. It's the way I learned. So it's one of those things like toilet paper, goes over or under. No one really knows what the true answer is. But coming in at number 5, $296. Takes us to number 4, another one of my favorites. It's kind of odd that these came in right after each other, but this guy's Blue Snaggletooth from a Sears exclusive Cantina package, and this is the one from the last part. I took him out of the box because I had that one resealable, and you can see he's got some discoloration. If you can see that, it's the torso tends to get darker than the arms, and surprisingly, his boots are in pretty good shape considering the silver is the first thing to wear off on these. I should have gloves on. I just realized that. But that's my Blue Snag, and he's coming in number 4, sold for $317 last month. Takes to number 3. Number 3, R2-D2 with the pop-up lightsaber. Yes, I popped him out of the, he was in the other top 10. He came in at number 8, and number 10 is the last one. He came in number 3 on this list. Coming in for loose, he sold for $329 last month. You see mine's a little worn. It's not perfect, but, you know, what are you going to do? They're not all perfect. Like I said, $329 coming in at number 3 for last month. Number 2, double telescoping Luke Skywalker. And you're going to say immediately, Bruce, that is not a double telescoping lightsaber. You are correct, because I'm not taking that guy out of his card. This is one for my displays, just for visual aid. But once again, the lightsaber here, if this was a double lightsaber, you would pull this and it would come out further than it is right now. As it is, it just stays where it's at. But this tip here would come out a little bit further. And that came out the very first ones, especially in the early bird certificate package, which I had one of those a long time ago, but don't know what happened to the lightsaber. I'm still on the lookout for one of those. All right, next one, moving on. That was number 2. Oh yeah, $539 for a double telescoping Luke Skywalker, sold last month on eBay, which I thought that was low too. And he was number 3 at the highest price, $895 for mint on card last month. So there was at least two that got sold last month. $895 for the one on card and $539 for the one loose like this. And I just thought they'd be worth more. Maybe the prices are coming down. I research these every once in a while when I'm getting ready to sell a bunch, which I am. Okay, number 1 is this guy right here. Now, you might have noticed I had him in the last one, and I realized I'm glad I pulled him out because I actually had the wrong one on the card. This one, I only have one real deal. The other ones I have are fake. Now, this is the real deal Vinyl Cape Jawa. Sold for $884 loose. And when I looked at it, I don't think it had the weapon with it either. This one's got his weapon on there. But, so that's number 1 right there. Vinyl Cape Jawa, sold loose, $884. So that's that, and I will see you in a minute to talk about these. I wanted to mention, I just want to add this in right quick. This is a Bib Fortuna on a normal card, Return of the Jedi card. Last month, it sold on eBay for $1,525, but there was a catch. They actually miscarded it, so it was a Bib Fortuna, and he was put on a Walrus Man card. Kind of like whenever they do a baseball card and put the wrong name on it. But yeah, that sold for $1,525 last month. And I just want to throw this in here right quick, and I don't have one, obviously. This is the regular card, but imagine this guy on a Walrus Man card. Just thought it was neat.
So that is the top 10 list of the loose figures, or what they went for in July 2020. I'm not really surprised at most of them. They're mostly the last 17, and Blue Snaggletooth is in there, of course, at 317. Nothing really surprised me. It is a little deceiving if you are a new collector and you're trying to just start out, which I know a few people are. I sold a gentleman last week a first 12 set, and I gave him a really reasonable price on it. It was a lot cheaper than these. In fact, I think he bought the whole set for, doesn't matter how much he paid for it, but it was a lot less than any of these are. Basic rule of thumb is most of the loose figures, with or without, well, let's just say a loose figure without the accessory, they go anywhere from, they can go as low as $5 up to $20, $25, depending on what figure you're trying to get. And it's really hard to say. Once again, it's what people are willing to pay for them. I sell beaters every once in a while, and I just give them for a couple bucks. Someone can use them a display, slap some repro weapons on them, throw them on one of their displays, take pictures. But then, you can get the ones that have the authentic weapons. Like one of the more expensive regular first 12 figures would be the Princess Leia. As long as you have her original cape and her gun, you can get upwards of $50 for it, as long as it's clean and, and definitely authentic. You have to know how to spot a repro from the real deal when it comes to the weapons and the capes. And once you learn how to do it, it's not that hard. There are a few good ones out there that, it caught my eye a couple times too, and I had to wonder. But so even the best can get by an old man like me. But as I said, both of these lists are a little deceiving. I mean, it depends on what you want to collect. I collect the loose ones, so I know much more about the loose ones than I do the MOCs, mint on card. Then you got the guys that only want mint on card, and that's fine too. It's just a lot more money, and I know I can't afford it. But so it's just, this is just to let you know that, like, someone will tell you the number one in the mint card was the Vinyl Cape Jawa, $2,000, and people are saying they're worth over $10,000, $15,000. It goes back to it's worth what someone's willing to pay for it. I could never see myself paying that much for any figure. Even if the Rocket Fire and Boba Fett that they just sold for a ridiculous amount of money, and that was a real deal. It was one of the prototypes that sold for, I don't know the figure, but it was way up there. And that's fine. If the guy wants to buy it and spend that kind of money, hey, let him, But I'm more a realist about it. I have a huge collection. I've got almost everything made vintage. Missing a couple last 17s. I think I have all the ships and stuff that I want. And I bought them all loose. A lot of them I've repaired and restored myself. That's what I do. That's why I'm Jenner Custom Toys. I do it for other people. I do it for myself. It's all a matter of taste. Where you want to go with your collection, how you want to collect. It's completely up to you. Whatever makes you happy. You don't worry about what the guy down the road says, or the guy on the group of snobs says, or the guy, and don't look down on anybody either. I know people that collect stuff today they'll pick up anything Star Wars at the local dollar store, and they love it, and that's all that matters, So I really don't like to be in these groups and see people price bash each other. I hate scalpers. People that are going, like the retro collection come out, and I worked in a retail store. Guy come in, he bought everything on the shelf, everything. Didn't give any local collectors a chance at all to pick one or two off the shelf. Bought them all. Sure enough, put them on eBay, marked them up double. Yeah, that's not cool. It's just not cool. But anyway, that's the 10 loosest ones. That's all I really want to do for this video. I'm testing out some new equipment, some new cable internet, and trying to get the green screen right. It's not perfect yet. I see the little scratches, but I'm working on it. It's one of my first videos that I'm actually doing to be serious. I do a lot of funny videos too. Oh yeah, I got a guy that helps me out. His name is Carl. And if you happen to see a couple of his videos on my YouTube channel, check him out and give him a like or not. Give him a like or two, He's a good guy. I'm sure you'll meet him eventually if you're going to keep watching my videos. But anyway, thanks for watching this one. And I am going to ask you to like and subscribe. I don't have a Patreon. I don't take money for this. This is something I just do because it's my hobby. If you want to buy something, go to eBay and find Jenner Custom Toys. That's my stuff. I make custom things and different Star Wars things. Sometimes I'll restore a vehicle and throw it up there. I try to keep my prices fair because I love Star Wars. It's more about the fun of me making something than making a lot of money off something. And I have all the details right there. It tells you exactly what you're getting, especially on a restored ship or something. If I had to make some parts, I'd list them right there what they were. And just try to have a good time with it. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. And like I said, hit the like and subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. And catch you next time.